Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to talk about the latest books I have read recently. I have read in total of 6 books since my last reading wrap up. It's not the amount of books that I wanted to read more, but sometimes reading is hard. So I read 6 books. 3 of them are good, and the other 3 were novels, romance novels that I read because I was in a slump, and sometimes all you need is an easy read. So the first one that I finished is this one, The City and the City by Shaina Mieville. And this is a strange book, but the author writes very strange fiction, and I will say this is not one of his strange books. I will say I think I read the history the history of the book, the background, it will say the background of the book, and he wrote this for his mother when his mother was sick, and his mother's favorite genres is police and crime novels, and this is a police crime novel. But the strange part is that it takes place in 2 cities, but these 2 cities don't like they share spaces. They used to be one city, and then they became 2 cities, but they don't interact with each other. They cannot. It's illegal for them to interact between each other. They have different language, different color palette, different everything. They don't like when they say they are similar, because I don't know, and it is strange. It takes place somewhere in Europe. It doesn't say exactly which part, but you know it's Europe. So, okay. Allergies are bad. I don't know why. So, I would say that the strange part for me was that the cities don't interact with each other. They share even streets, but they I don't know how they do it. Maybe it's fiction, but it's not legal for them to acknowledge the other side or interact with the other side, and you have to have a permit to be on the other city, and vice versa. It is a crazy theme, and he creates words to describe this thing. I don't remember the words, and my notes are not very detailed in that aspect, because I just want to capture the moment, my feelings on the book, and I do really love it. I give it 4 stars, and I do really love it. But the ending, I want it to be, I will give it spoilers, okay? I haven't told what that is about. It's about a murder. About this girl was murdered in a city, but she belongs to the other city. Actually, she doesn't belong to the city. She is an exchange student doing her PhD in the other city, and she died on the other city. Or not died. Her body was dumped in the other city. So it begins this team of like bureaucracy and stuff, with the detective couldn't do much because he couldn't go to other city, and he will have to do a lot of work to be able to work in the other city. And then there is this term named breach, which you cannot breach because then the breach police will get you and you will be deleted. I don't know. It really is quite strange book, and at the beginning I didn't get. It was hard for me to get it, because what do you mean you cannot see your neighbor because he belongs in the other city? Like, what is that? But I kind of like it. I find the detective to be good. In times where police is not good, it might be propaganda. I don't know, but it's quite like the characters are quite likable, and it became maybe, and okay, look, he begins thinking that maybe it's a conspiracy. Maybe it's a third city that is operating in the background, that is doing all this stuff. Is maybe like the supernatural aspect. He begins thinking that because of the clues, but at the end, it's just corruption. Corruption and smuggling of good to one city to the other city. What can I say? Reality sometimes is harder than fiction. I'm right. So I expected to be something like a third city, like he was, and I get sad when it was corruption and conspiracy and smuggling. But it was good. I like it. I took 1 star for that though, because I didn't want it to be corruption. I just wanted to be, I don't know, something magical, but it wasn't. It just was corruption and smuggling. But it's a really good book. I really like it. So 4 stars. The other book that I read is, it's this one. It's Telephone by Percival Everett. And the more that I think about this book, the more I like it. And I was kind of scared at the beginning because this book has 3 endings, and you don't know what ending you will get unless you read it. So I got, spoilers, I got the middle ending because you have a very optimistic ending. You have a kind of realistic ending, and then you have the pessimist bad one ending. And I think if I have gotten the bad ending, it will be my third read. It will be my last straw because I was that sad at the time that I read it. I could not handle it. I will not be able to handle it. So the realistic one was the best option for me at the moment. So I kind of like it. Most of the characters sometimes drove me crazy because you're reading okay, he is a geologist, I think, and he's a professor at university, and he's married, and he had a kid, but the kid gets suddenly get a progressive life-ending sickness, like her muscles stop working and she will be regressing in age, and it is, you cannot stop it, just you can watch it just happens, and that destroys him and his family and his wife, which is understandable because you are watching your daughter die and you cannot do anything about it, just watched, you know. So sometimes the decision that he makes, you kind of understand where he's coming from because of this thing that is happening to him, and he also knows that he's failing. He is very aware of his lackings. He is very aware, and I love that. I was getting mad at him, but because he knew he was doing bad, I was like, okay, you know you're doing bad. Why are you doing it? Okay, I was like that, but I kind of like that he was like that. I don't know. The writing was very good. It was easy to read for me, and I did some tabbing. I quite like this book, and I found the thing he got like stuck in his brain were kind of weird. Like, he would say that he and his wife don't love each other very much, but they are married because what is the next option to do? Like, I don't know, maybe don't live miserable for the rest of your life. I don't know. I don't get his decisions. Like, you know, like, you are not happy with your wife, but I don't know. He's a strange one. He is a strange one. And you also add the thing in this book that he is black and his wife is white, and his kid is mixed race, but the kids looks more like his mom. So it plays in his psyche because of the race issue. And I think I cannot say like for experience, but he describes that experience that he has gone through life in that aspect, especially in academia, because he is a professor in university, and how that thing that he cannot change affects his life, and then sometimes affects his private life. So it's quite strange, but it's not a strange book. It's quite a ride because it's very short, and he packs a lot, and he does it very well because he plays with race, he plays with grief, and he talks about the okay, he gets wrapped in a plot of a rescue mission of these Mexican ladies that are working near the border that have been imprisoned by this, he called them the Ku Klux Klan. They are similar, like, that clan, but they are not exactly that, but he is always wary of them because he's black, so he knows that one bad step and he's going to get deleted. So I kind of like the grief aspect of this book because he's so well done. And he only has one kid, and I'm not saying that if you have multiple kids that the pain is different, but his grief, you can feel his grief, and that is one of the best things about this book, I would say. The side quest he goes on is very strange. I am like, what are you doing? Why are you going to this side quest? But at the end of the day, you kind of understand him because he doesn't want to think about his grief or what his life would be without his daughter. He wants to forget all that. So he's escaping through that side quest of liberating this woman from this camp. So, and the ending, the moderate ending, because I asked ChatGPT about it because I was curious about the other ones. You don't really know what is happening because he escapes in the bus. He escapes with the other women and he goes through that, but one of the women gets hurt, so he have to go to a hospital, and they go to the hospital, and that is the end. You don't know if his daughters died. You don't know what has happened after they got to the hospital. It just ends like that, and the Mexican police officer that he was trying to get help from didn't come. It left them hanging. So it's kind of like that because I'm guessing a lot of things are for you to decide what happened in the ending that I got. And the other one is very optimistic, that everything gets saved, everyone is happy, the daughter still died, but he's with her and that kind of stuff. And the bad is bad because he died. So I kind of like that book in that aspect. Very, very bizarre. I gave it 4 stars too. I liked that one. And then we came to the part where I didn't know what to read. I was in such a slump that what do I read now? And I didn't want to read anything heavy because I just finished this one and I was in a bad mental state. So I didn't want anything to be hard to read for me. So I decided I would read a romance. And I decided to read the most bizarre romance that I could find, and I decided to read this book called like Ice Planet Barbarians or something like that. Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon. I read 3 of his series. I read Ice Planet Barbarian. I also read Barbarians Lovers. And I get a Barbarian prize. It was a ride. It was a wild ride. And I expected this to be like, I don't know, read. They are quite a bit there are some parts that are very hard. Like they are snatched in the middle of the night in their rooms, and they are solitary women, so they get snatched. But these aliens, evil aliens, that want to sell them from profit, and they kill them and then abuse them. It was a strong beginning. The rest is only for a couple of chapters, and it's not that profound of a book, because even if these have those themes, it's not that profound. It's not that deep. It's not that deep, because they had those things happen to them. But at the end of the day, it's just a plot line. It's not even a plot line. It's a thing that happened to them, and that is all. They don't, like, I don't know. It's not something that affects their life greatly. Like, they are stuck in planet, I don't know, in every planet, and they found another aliens. The other aliens allow women. They want to get this to mate with these new humans to repopulate their people, but it's like the really complex thing. But it's not really that complex. Anyways, it was a wild ride. The romance, not that profound. They found their mates, and that is all. I don't know. I know these books are some people's favorite, but for me they were okay. They got me out the slump. I read 3 because, okay, my battery is running low. Let me change that. Okay, I changed the battery. I hope I have more time. And it's quite rainy outside, so I don't know. So I was saying, I read 3. Sometimes when you read 3 or the same, they have the same plot. They are looking for a mate. These aliens are looking for a mate. They are like Avatar looking aliens, and they are huge, and they think always first of their mate. It's quite repetitive, I would say, because I don't know. It is very repetitive. After 3, I had enough. And this lady, she built a universe, because she have, I don't know, 20 books out there about these aliens. But 3 was enough for me. So I gave most of them 3 stars. 3 stars for me. All 3 of them, 3 stars. Because I had enough, okay? I had enough. And it was a good read. I'm not gonna lie. And the last book on my reading was a book that I was very excited to read about, and left me feeling very sad. It's A Dry Heart by Natalia Jimsenberg. First thing, I love this cover. This cover is very nice. I love it. The bad thing is they have paper, so they get dirty so fast. But I love this cover. So, one of the things I would say about this book is that is very sad. And I learned the meaning of the word nihilism because of this one. Because everything for her is very sad and bleak and doesn't have any good thing. It made me realize, I don't know, maybe because of the voice or the themes, I don't know. It made me remember a lot of Sylvia Plath when I was reading The Bell Jar. It was very similar feeling I was having while reading this book. This sense of nothing is worth it, everything is bad, love is bad, everything is bad. Nothing has any meaning in life. And maybe, I don't know, maybe because it was a reflection of the time, maybe because women view their lives through that lens. But wow, it was sad. It was very sad because she was flirting with this man, and this man, he was very hot and cold with her. Sometimes he would be very, very, very cold with her, and then he would be very, very like warm towards her, lukewarm towards her. But she and the end of the day married, and then they have a daughter, and the daughter died, and then he married knowing he had a mistress, or not a mistress, but he was in love with someone, and he continued to see this woman throughout the life. And then this woman even came to the house because she wanted to meet the woman, and I was like, girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's like a very complexity of the human psyche at the time. But I was like, girl, what are you doing? Maybe live with your parents. This is not working. And she was a teacher. I don't know. It was. I left feeling like, what is the meaning of life, man? Everything is so bleak to the narrator. Everything is sad. Everything is bad. Everything happens, and then the only thing I approve was that she killed her husband, because he was also dumb. Like, men are dumb, and she was very intelligent at the beginning, and she knew her feelings, but she decided to act against her own feelings. I don't know. One of the quotes that I have, if I can find it, maybe I cannot find it. Okay, this one. This summarized book, the feeling of the book, perfectly. Like, here. I went up to my room, go into my bed, and cry. It was the first time in my life that I had cried over a man, and it seemed to me this must be a sign that I love him. I thought how, if he asked me to marry him, I would say yes. And then we will always be together, and even when he was out, I will know where he was. But when I imagined or making love together, I felt something like disgust and say to myself that I wouldn't be in love with him after all. It was all very confusing. Like, girl, what are you talking about? Then you don't want to be with him. Okay, that is so. She plays the author plays with these themes throughout the book. Like, she loved him, but not enough, but not enough like to that. I think that paragraph is a perfect summary of this book. Like, she wanted him, and she wanted him to love. She wanted to love him, but sometimes she regret loving him, and she didn't like loving him. And I was like, what are you doing? I don't like it. But I love this book. I give it 4 stars, and it was a very, very wild ride, because since the beginning, you know, she's going to kill him. You know that because it's in the first page of the book, so you know what, you know, she killed him with a shotgun. You only see like the build up to that killing. What led her to kill him, and when she killed him, she feels this peace. Like, yeah, I killed him, now I'm going to jail, so what? And I am like, girl, okay, I love this book. I didn't give them justice to these books, but I enjoy reading them. And I know sometimes these books are more profound than I'm telling you about, but I don't know how to be profound, but I love them, you know, either way. So these are the books I read. I hope to read more in the coming months. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.